So hello, welcome back to Stevens Falls. I've got something completely different for you today. We're going to go out for a drive in this, the Ssangyoug Tivoli. Hopefully I pronounced that right. First of all, I want to say a big thank you to Joseph from Lloyd Vehicle Consultancy. Please do go and check out his channel. I'll put a link in the description below. He's kindly offered for me to be able to drive this car while he goes and drives the Alpha. So why am I driving this car today? Why am I so intrigued to drive this car? Well, it's because there's a lot of these cheaper vans coming in, mainly from China over the last few years. And I want to see if this is actually any good. I've never driven a Ssangyoug before. So I actually really want to drive one. I'm quite intrigued to see, is it as good as something like a Ford or a Vauxhall? First impression, and this is something Josie did tell me about, was that these are quite low profile tyres. And they are a little bit noisy, I must admit. Lower profile tyres always do, but apart from that, actually, it's all is good at the moment. I will start by mentioning about sort of the level of equipment on this. I think there's like a sat-nav system on here. You've got your climate control, heated leather seats, heated steering wheel, which is coming handy on day-to-day where it's about 3 or 4 degrees at the moment. Josie's also mentioned about the different steering wheel modes that you can have, and he's left it in sport mode for me. And I have to admit, yes, I can say actually it does still feel quite light, but there's actually a little bit more feeling that you get back. So I think we might try another setting to have a comfort. Oh yes, that does. Yes, I can feel the difference now. It really does. Yeah, it feels a lot lighter almost. So I can see why he likes having it in the sport mode. I think we might put it back in there. That's about the next point I want to talk about is the build quality, and actually feels a really nice solid car. I mean, a few of the plastics are a little bit on the cheap side, but that's to be expected. I think when you go into certain Fords and Vauxhalls, some of the plastics in there are a little bit cheap, but it feels really solid actually. It feels like you got a nice higher driving position in this car, of course being a sort of crossover off mini off-roader. It does feel very nice. You've got 6-speed manual. Let's go for the 6-speed. There we go. So we can cruise along quite happily. It's quite a pleasant car to be in. I mean, we cruise on now doing 60 miles an hour. A nice sort of country road. Yeah, it feels really nice. I'm really impressed actually. It's not my car, so I'm not going to thrash it too much. But yeah, the engine first has got plenty of pull in it, plenty of power, nothing excessive, of course, but enough to get you down the road, enough for you not to have to worry that you're going to have trouble getting up rather large hills. The steering, as I mentioned, feels quite nice in this sport mode. Actually, you get a little bit of feedback. Okay, it's no sports car, but it's nice that you got the option to have a little bit of a weighted steering wheel and get a little bit more feedback on the road. The going for the gears feels nice and light. The clutch is nice and light. So the outside of this car looks really nice. I think it certainly looks as nice as a Ford or a Vauxhall or Kia or Hyundai, whatever you want to compare it to. I think the inside is really smart as well. I'll overlay some pictures of the inside now. Really nice. Nice, you've got this big touch screen right in the centre of the dash. Everything's laid out where you would sort of expect it to be. There's a lot of room in here. It's not the biggest of cars, nor is it the smallest though. So it's a nice sort of size. You can certainly get 5 people in here and a little bit of luggage as well, which is good for what you want for everyday driving. So it's interesting when you mention Ssangyoungs, because I've never had that much experience of them, and I can see why they're eating into the everyday car market, people like Ford, Vauxhall. I think they've definitely got some stiff competition when it comes to cars like this. If the Chinese and the Koreans can make cars as good as this, why would you necessarily pay a little bit more and even go for Ford or Vauxhall? Often these cars do cut under a Ford or Vauxhall price. They're just priced to slightly below the price point of them. And if they're as good as a Ford or Vauxhall, why wouldn't you? So what do I think about my first drive in a Ssangyoug? Well, I really do like this car because it drives really nice as a day drive. It does everything that my B-Class does. Okay, the big might have a slightly more premium feel to it, but for the money, extra money, is it necessarily worth it? Is it worth saving a little bit of money and going for something like this? For me, there are three things that I've really enjoyed about driving the Ssangyoug. First of all is the build quality. It feels a really solid car. Secondly is the amount of equipment it has. Now this is obviously top spec, ultimate spec. So it comes with things like heated leather seats, heated leather steering wheel, your sat nav, climate control, cruise control, lane assist, all those sort of things. It comes really well spec'd. And the third thing is that it's actually just a very pleasant car to be. It's a very pleasant place to sit. It's a very pleasant car to drive. So those are my three takeaway points from today. So I just want to say a big thank you to Joseph from Lloyd Vehicle Consulting again, and put a link to his channel below. He's going to be doing a video on my Alfa, so please do go and watch that as well. So it's going to be goodbye from me, goodbye from the Ssangyoug, and we'll see you very soon. Goodbye.